Good morning, CSL. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Life this morning, this last Sunday in May. Coming to you still from Cedar Edge, my home in Cedar Edge, Colorado. And here we are online still. Please pay attention to your emails as we will be updating you as soon as we know something about getting back together in person for services. We are being very mindful about the decisions that we make with all of our members in our community in mind. We want to make a compassionate, safe decision that makes everybody feel good. So we've been following Governor Polis's guidelines, and we will continue to do that for the state of Colorado. So please tune into your email to find out. I'll give you plenty of notice so that when we get back in person, anybody who's paying attention to their email will know when that's going to happen, okay? Thank you so much for your patience and your understanding in all of this. We really know that nothing happens by chance. Everything that happens, or all the circumstances or conditions in our life, are for us. And so I think it's important that we take the opportunity when those things arise to step up and ask the tough questions. How is this for me? How is this serving me? And, right now for me, just the big pause and taking a moment and, really after being isolated for an amount of time, you have no choice but to go within and start thinking about some things maybe a little bit in a deeper way. And it's allowed me to critically think about things in my life and the way they are, and things in the world and the way they are, and get a different perspective. And so I think that if we utilize our time away from each other to go within and find out and really create who we want to be and who we want to come onto the other side of this, and who we want to bring with us, how we want to show up. That's exactly what we're talking about in the month of May, in the theme Authentic Me. So all of that said, I want you to, for an opening song today, we have included a YouTube from David and Tamra of our little song Heidi Ho, which is the perfect song for Authentic Me and perfect indeed for today, Celebrate Who You Are. So please click on the opening song and enjoy Heidi Ho. Again, thank you, David and Tamra, so much for continuing to support the music ministry here at CSL. So important to have music go with all of this, and they've just been rocking it. So thank you so much. Let's see, Wednesday night we will have, I'll post something about Drumming Circle. I'm not sure exactly what that will be, but that will come via your email for Wednesday night. Also, we have been putting all of our services on our website as well, which is www.csldelta.org is our website, so you can see everything on there. We also have a YouTube channel, so if you would like to look up the past services, especially maybe for May, where we've been talking about Authentic Me, we've been following, I'll talk about that in a minute, we've been following some work by Mike Robbins, and we've been taking one each week, and those YouTubes are on our YouTube channel, which is Center for Spiritual Life Delta, so you can go back and look those up if you're interested. Okay, so every week we say together our vision and our mission to remind ourselves why it is we gather, why it is we created a community, what is our mission and our vision for our community. So I invite you to deeply think about these words and really embody and embrace these words. And, think about what they really mean to you personally and as a community and globally. Okay, so here we go. Let's read our vision and our mission together. Okay? This center offers a path for awakening to the realization of oneness. Open hearts, inspired life, empowered love. Our spiritual community welcomes all people to embrace oneness as the truth of our being. Together we see a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission for CSL, we recognize and realize the omnipresence of divine love as the truth of all. Okay? You see that? All. A-L-L. That leaves nothing out. All right, so we have been focusing on authentic me, authentic you, authentic us, living an authentic life. What does that look like? How do I create that? What does it mean? And I had found some work online on Oprah.com, which has a lot of stuff. If you're looking around the internet, Oprah.com has great interviews and Super Soul Sundays and articles. Well, I came across Mike Robbins. His article was The Power of Authenticity. And the first week, he had 5 key principles. And so I thought this was perfect. We had 5 weeks, 5 Sundays in May. So the first week, the first key principle of living an authentic life, he said, was to know yourself. Okay, self-observation. Get to know yourself and who you are. And again, if you want to go back and visit these on the YouTubes, go back and look at those. The second principle on the second week that we studied was called Transform Your Fear. Okay. The third one, we had Express Yourself. And the fourth one, last week, we studied Be Bold, and we talked about courage, and we talked about vulnerability and how those two intertwine. And today, the fifth and the last principle that he talked about in this particular article is celebrate who you are. Okay? So I'll start off by reading his little blurb in this, Celebrate Who You Are. And this is by Mike Robbins. Okay? The ultimate goal... Wait a minute, let me put my glasses on. All right. The ultimate goal of being ourselves in an authentic way is actually about celebrating and loving ourselves in a generous way. If we truly love ourselves, most of what we worry about and even much of what we strive for in life becomes meaningless. We may still have some worries and will definitely continue to have goals, dreams, and desires. However, from a place of true self-appreciation and self-love, the fear behind our worries and the motivation for our goals dramatically changes from something we have to avoid or produce in order to be accepted and valued to something we're genuinely concerned about or really want to accomplish. On the flip side, if we don't love ourselves, nothing much really matters. No matter what we conquer, create, or experience, we're never able to appreciate it or ourselves or to be fulfilled in the process because we're constantly striving to be validated in an insatiable way. Self-love is what we're all searching for. Sadly, we spend most of our lives thinking that someone or something else can give us what we only can give ourselves. To be truly fulfilled in life, we have to find that love within us and give it to ourselves. No other person, amount of money, material possession, or accomplishment can do it. It's up to us. We have an opportunity to celebrate who we are for any reason at any time. Being your authentic self is not for the faint of heart. But once you're willing to truly engage and do the work to become more real, your life, your work, and your relationships will be more exciting, meaningful, and fulfilling. Who doesn't want that, right? So, I'm thinking about this and reading what he has to say. And in order to celebrate who I am, I first need to like who I am. Okay? And then, if I really want to get radical, I could love who I am, and I could really have a festival of bliss, right? But usually it's hard enough to even like myself so much of the time because I see my so-called flaws everywhere. I do things, think things, say things that disappoint me. I doubt myself almost constantly in one area or another. And when I actually listen to my own self-talk, I don't seem to be such a good friend to myself sometimes. It's hard to celebrate who I am when I don't like who I am in so many areas of my life. Can anyone relate to that? Just me. So, I set out to love myself. But how? Where do I start? It seems impossible to just accept all of my flaws and love them. The truth is, I don't love them. I want to be different. I want to show up more real, more in alignment with my divine nature, my true divine nature of love. And yet, I know from my studies that what I resist persists. So not dealing with these so-called negative traits I claim to be a part of me, pushing them away and yet allowing them to define who I am keeps them attached to me by way of my energy. By continuing to want to fix my flaws, I'm always focusing on the negative aspect of the flaw itself. Energy flows where attention goes. Therefore, I'm expanding my flaw with the very energy of my own being, my attention. But how can I actually change if I don't think about what needs to change? Clearly, I need a well thought out plan for this loving myself project. I need a workable solution if I want to live my life and bring my best authentic self with me. So I created a plan to love myself. I quickly realized that in order to really love myself, I needed to fall in love with who I am. In real time, I need to fall in love with who I am, the way I'm acting right now, and right now, and right now. I needed to create myself to be someone I love to be with. So first of all, I need to get very clear in my mind, using my imagination, what I think a person I love would even look like. Okay? How would I talk? How would I walk? What would I think? How would I respond to others, both my friends and my enemies? So I started a course study and I began journaling in my life vision book. Okay? I began to create a vision for my life that included all of the things I admire in a person. Compassion, honesty, empathy, kindness, wisdom, intelligence, courage. So all of those things, I began to expand on these things by asking myself questions like, what would it look like in the world to behave in these ways? How would I speak? How would I respond? In silence? With my voice? How could I behave differently to more closely align with my values for authenticity? What do I need to do differently so I can see myself in this new way of being? This is the highest vision of me, according to me, created by me. You see, if I don't take the time to create a plan for my inner life, what I think and believe, then I keep myself stuck in the way it's always been. Sometimes feeling great and empowered, and sometimes feeling weak and unworthy, but always being battered around by the circumstances and conditions of the outer world. When I take the time to know myself by self-observation without judgment, I get past my fears. I get honest with myself. I become courageous through being vulnerable. And then I can create a new life vision for myself, one in which I fall in love with who I am. This is when I can truly start to love myself. I visit my new life vision in my mind. Okay? I prime the pump by changing my thinking. My new life is exciting and more reflective of the real me, the inner me. I practice the inner change. I say these things, these inner changes in affirmative statements. I practice these, and little by little, I find myself changing. My thoughts change. My words change. My actions on the outer world change. And I'm liking it. I begin to like me. I begin to like being with me. I'm creating myself to be someone I love to be with. And when I fall, which I most certainly do, I can call on my spiritual tools to remind me of my truth. I can practice spiritual mind treatment, meditation, or affirmations to get back in touch with my truth. The truth that I'm not really in charge at all. There's only one life living. One life living right here and right now. Only the life of God. Not God and me, but God as me. Directing and guiding me, active in my mind and my body and my affairs always. This is who I really am. And through my highest wisdom, I have everything within me I need to show up as a unique, authentic individual. You have everything you need within you to show up as unique, authentic you. What's not to love? So now I'd like to share another article that I found from Mike Robbins. Same guy, same place, Oprah.com, and I thought it would fit in perfectly with what I just said. So I had to share it. Here it is. It's called Nobody's Perfect. Love Your Flaws. Okay? So Mike says, if you're anything like me, you've probably spent more time than you'd like to admit trying to fix your various flaws. Yep. Although I may pretend otherwise, many of my own goals, desires, and even my motivation to grow often comes from a deep place of insecurity within me, thinking that if I can just fix what's wrong with me, then everything will be okay. Anybody relate to that? I've been very aware of this dynamic as I've been in the process of creating my intentions in the past few weeks. I recently had an insight, one that I've had before, but this time it came to me at a deeper level. That maybe instead of focusing on fixing my flaws, it's more important to love them instead. I've resisted this notion of loving my flaws for most of my life, worried that if I actually loved the things I thought were wrong with me, they'd somehow never change. I'd be stuck with them and I'd become unmotivated or lazy about self-improvement. Wow. That's so true for me. Ironically, it's only love that leads to real healing and transformation, which ultimately can create the actual change you say you're looking for, or a true sense of acceptance that gives you access to authentic liberation regardless of the circumstances. At a deep level, all flaws are subjective and based on your own interpretations, perspectives, and focuses anyway. You may obsess about certain aspects of your body or appearance, your personality, your life or work circumstances, and deem them as bad or flawed. But the truth is, they simply are as they are. You add the meaning and interpretation to them. Here are some ideas about what you can do to move through your experience of feeling flawed to a place of acceptance, peace, and love. Number 1, acknowledge what's true for you. The first step in almost every process of growth and transformation is telling the truth. So often you may try to avoid, run from, or pretend your flaws are gone. That never works. But if you relate to some aspect of your body, personality, relationships, career, or life in general as a flaw, you first have to get real about it if you're going to do anything about it. Number 2, admit and express the underlying emotions. Important here, listen up. If you can identify, acknowledge, and ultimately express the true emotions you're experiencing related to this perceived flaw, then you can create a real sense of freedom for yourself. If a certain aspect of your personality or your body or your career bothers you, and because of it you find yourself feeling ashamed, as uncomfortable or potentially negative as it may seem, the best thing you can do is acknowledge and express your shame authentically. Emotions become positive when they are appropriately expressed and turn negative when they are denied and repressed. Although this is a different understanding of emotions than you've been taught, I'm sure you've had many liberating and positive experiences when you've expressed negative emotions like sadness, anger, and fear. By expressing your real emotions, you can start to unlock and unhook yourself from the drama and suffering of the situation, which is actually caused by the denial and repression of those emotions, not the emotions themselves. Number 3, forgive yourself. You ever heard that? Self-forgiveness is a big one and something that many of people, myself included, don't have a lot of experience with. Most people have been trained to be hard on themselves, and also that forgiveness has to come from someone or something outside of you. However, true forgiveness comes from within you and is what ultimately sets you free in life. When you feel flawed in a certain area of your life, you often have a lot of blame and judgment, some of which may be directed toward other people or situations. But beneath that, most of it is directed at you. When you're able to forgive yourself in an authentic way, you create the space for real change and healing to take place. Number 4, appreciate. The word appreciate doesn't mean like, agree with, or enjoy necessarily. To appreciate means to recognize the value of something. What have you learned about yourself and life by dealing with this flaw? While pain, issues, and challenges are not the only ways to grow in life, one of the many benefits of your challenges is that you get to learn a great deal about yourself, others, and life in the process of dealing with them. When you move into a state of genuine appreciation and gratitude for the learning associated with the difficulty, you can move out of feeling sorry for yourself, which never helps. Listen here. It is impossible to experience gratitude and victimhood simultaneously. And number 5, so here's the last one. Love. The ultimate antidote for all suffering is love. Your ability to bring love to your flaws, to care for them with kindness and compassion as you would for a child, a pet, or a loved one, is what will ultimately allow the true transformation you're looking for to take place. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. When you love your flaws, you create an environment where you're either able to make the kinds of specific changes you truly want from an authentic place of intention, or learn to love and accept yourself, whether an actual change takes place or not. Any issue, malady, or problem that shows up in your life as an opportunity for you to deepen your capacity to bring love, give love, receive love, and accept love. All of these things, in my own experience, are much easier said than done. That's true. And when you're able to tell the truth, express your real emotions, forgive yourself, appreciate your flaws, and bring love to all aspects of your life, both light and dark, you give yourself the opportunity to transcend your flaws in a real way. This takes a great deal of intention, support, compassion, and patience. It is much easier to take a pill, get busy and distracted, whine and complain, pretend things are fine, or various other avoidance techniques that you may have gotten good at in life. However, leaning into your flaws in an authentic way and doing so with profound love for yourself is how you can genuinely heal and end the cycle of suffering. Okay? So I would like to finish this up with a meditation, a small meditation here by John Randolph Price out of one of his books. So let's see if you could just get comfortable here for a moment. Just take a deep breath. Relax your body. Open your heart space. Breathe into that heart space. Take these words as your own. I came into this world with a very specific purpose. I came to love life and realize the truth about me. I came to contribute to this world and to be a beneficial presence in humanity. I am a part of God, and the fullness of the Godhead dwells within me right now. In the mind of God, no one or no thing is useless or meaningless. Everyone and everything is of critical importance to the balance and order of the universe. Without me, God would not be complete. Without me, the universe would lose its equilibrium. All that is before me to do, I do with happy enthusiasm, for nothing is too insignificant. And never again will there be a sense of futility in my life. I am overflowing with gratitude to the divine for the opportunity to be alive at this time. I'm so thankful to be right where I am right now, serving all who come my way with love, joy, understanding, and forgiveness. Recognizing my true worth, I now go forth with uplifted vision. I see with the inner eye the loving and prospering activity of spirit within. I am peaceful, powerful, and poised, for I know who I am. And so it is. And now I let it be. So, right now I'd like to talk a little bit about, let's see, I don't need that anymore. A little bit about tithes and donations at the center. I just want to show you something here. I've been keeping all of the notes and beautiful cards and messages that everybody has been sending in. It's just all of these messages and cards that have been coming with beautiful words of support for the center and sending in tithes and donations so we can continue what we're doing. It's overwhelmingly fabulous. You guys are the best. Thank you. I don't know how to say thank you any more than just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It's very touching how much you have continued to support the center in our absence of being together physically. Okay, thank you. If you would like to send a donation, here is the address. Let's see, can you see that? So you can make your check out to Center for Spiritual Life. Send it to 658 Howard Street in Delta, Colorado, 81416. And if you would like to give using your card, I ask you to get on the website at csldelta.org. Look that up, and that will direct you on how to use your card, which will take a phone call, okay? So thank you again for continuing your support of the center. We're doing great because you guys are just have great, generous, compassionate, kind, and loving hearts. Thank you so much. So let's do this the last time for this affirmation. This is our offering affirmation. And I've had this offering affirmation in my car for years and years and years. One of those where you put it up against you put it in the dashboard and it reflects off the windshield. And so I can see it while I'm driving. And I love this. Okay, here we go. I have a constant flow of prosperity in my life. Okay? If you really critically think about this, deeply think about this affirmation, how glorious is this? How excited are you? Okay, one more time with excitement. I have a constant flow of prosperity in my life. Woo-hoo! All right, here we go. I know isolation will do that to you. Okay, so prayers. Certainly, we are still taking prayer requests directly. Lou Kunzelman is taking them at her email, or you can send them where I will get them at. So Lou's is Lou Kunzelman, LUKUNZELMAN, at Bresnan, BRESNAN.net. Or the other one is C4SLDelta at gmail.com. Okay? Yeah, that's right. So I would just really encourage you to send a prayer request if you are experiencing a challenge, anxiety, fear, loneliness, or maybe excitement, a new adventure you're going into, creating yourself anew. Maybe it's just general support for who you are. Please send a prayer request. I love to put prayer requests in because I love having Lou pray on behalf of my life and me and my family. Knowing that she is knowing the truth for me sometimes allows me to let go and relax and just let it be. So I encourage you to send a prayer request, and it's pretty easy. Just put it directly to those emails. Okay. So here we are at the end of the service at our repetitive affirmation. And this again is the last time for this affirmation. Let me put it up there so you can remember what it is. See that well? And we've been saying this 5 times now. Ooh, we've upped it once. We say them 4, now we're going to say it 5. And we're going to gather up some energy in the belief that this is true. Okay? Gather up some energy in the belief that this is true. True in our life, true in the lives of all of our members in our community, true in the lives of everyone in the world and the world itself. Let's say it 5 times, okay? The intelligence of God is at work here. Again, the intelligence of God is at work here. I'm feeling it. The intelligence of God is at work here. Very exciting. The intelligence of God is at work here. One more time. The intelligence of God is at work here. Okay. All right. Well, that is it for me for today and for the month of May. And we're going to start a new focus next month for June. And I'll be coming to you for now. I think we'll be coming to you online again until you hear from me different. Remember until then that your soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here at CSL, here on this planet at this time, here in this beautiful present moment as we create ourselves to be the one we love. Okay? We bring our new energy forth as a powerful, unique, beneficial presence in this world. So just encourage you to let your light shine. Show up as your authentic self. I have a quote by Beth Moore. Okay, she says, "Let your light shine today and let your personality blossom. You don't have to be a people pleaser, just a people lover." So until next week, namaste.